Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Plus. I'm Shweta Kothari. We're bringing you stories from the world of business, policy and economy. First up, let's begin with how markets closed in the green today. With me is my colleague Suyash Maheshwari. Suyash, a slight upbeat on the Indian stock markets today on the back of a lot of global cues and domestic cues, but ending on a greenish shoot this afternoon.
Definitely, Shweta. So, markets was on a 5-week losing streak. Now, amid positive cues from the Asian markets, because of which the Asian stocks were trading higher, Indian markets also reacted positively and opened in green in the opening trade today. Now, we saw some profit booking at the latter half of the session in the last 2 hours, because of which the gains paired and Nifty ended about 0.1% higher at 19,300 level, which has emerged as a crucial support for the index. Now, Sensex was also up about 0.12% at 64,965 mark, so it closed just shy of the 65,000 mark. Mid cap and the small cap space saw some buying interest. The Nifty mid cap 100 was up 0.5% at 38,662 levels. Now, the small cap index Shweta was up 0.74% at 11,957 levels.
All right, I think Ashish Maheshwari is joining us at this point in time. Ashish Maheshwari is the director of Arihant Capital, live with us this afternoon. Okay, he's not with us, I'm given to understand. So Nifty there and ending on a positive note, Sensex ending on a positive note. And since we're talking about the global cues and we started with that, the Jackson Hole Symposium seemed to have calmed nerves and jitters for investors in the stock market. We'll have to wait as to see how stock markets open up in US this evening, which will be Monday morning for them. But Indian stock markets are picking positively to the cues that inflation at this point in time, there's a hawkish stance on inflation as far as US Fed is concerned.
Yes, Shweta. So the markets were expecting a more hawkish commentary from Jerome Powell. Now, the expectation was that Powell will give some clarity on whether the Fed will hike interest rates or not. Rather, Powell took a stance where he said that while inflation is a key concern, at this current juncture, Fed will tread cautiously when it comes to interest rate hikes. So, the expectation as a result, US markets on Friday bounced back after a 1% drop in the previous session, and then there was a economic packages from China coming in, because of which Asian stocks also joined the rally, and as a result,
a rebound there.
A rebound in across the board for domestic as well as global equities.
All right, Ashish Maheshwari, director of Arihant Capital, joining us live on the show at this point in time. Ashish, thanks very much for taking time out. I want to begin by understanding the green shoots that we're looking at in the Indian stock markets this afternoon. Are you going to see this recovery continuing for the rest of the week, or is it just one-off today? And now also perhaps weigh in on what sort of global cues you're tracking this afternoon.
Instead of more global cues, Indian markets have moved today on more domestic related developments, or wherever institutional players are invested in are bullish in a particular sector. For example, for railway, telecom, these are the sector where the money is again chasing the stocks. And in my view, market is not that much worried as far as what happens in US or whatever the interest rate scenario takes place there. Because we have seen, for example, in the month of June, FIs were buyers to the tune of 53,000. Last month they did 33, and this month almost 8-9,000 crore only is the figure. But still the market has, if you see last 3 month markets are up by 6% still, and just down by less than 1% in this month. So what does it show? What does it show? That there's more domestic money which is keeping market alive. Though some phases of consolidation might take place, but today's closing of 19,300 is positive as far as my view is concerned.
So, Ashish, what's your directional view on the benchmarks, both Nifty and Sensex?
Yeah, in my view, 19,300 reach today is quite positive. We have seen from lows around 60 points recovery in the market, and even the market was slightly static because of Reliance AGM related developments. But as nothing really concrete came in this AGM also, so in my view, slight disappointment as far as Reliance AGM is concerned. But otherwise, market will continue its bullish move even in coming days also. So I'm not that bearish. In my view, 19,000 will play a crucial role. At the same time, 64,900 is good support level for Sensex. I'm expecting somewhere 65,200 to 300 marks there.
Now, yeah, thanks, Ashish. So now, Fed said that it will tread cautiously when it comes to hiking interest rates. So, in light of that, what are your expectations from the September outcome? Will we see a rate hike?
So I think this is always a $1 million question whenever this such development, such meeting happens. But I'm not expecting they are going to do anything zippy because again, the way inflation, though inflation is hurting U.S. economy, but at the same time, you just can't keep on increasing rate and control inflation because there's disruption in global supply chain because of Russia-Ukraine thing. So whatever the interest rate you will do, supply won't be increasing that easily. And at the same time, if interest rate goes high, then ultimately the home loan and lending rate also goes up. So ultimately, there's greater fear the economy might slip into recession. So in my view, Fed will trade cautiously even in the next.
What about Reserve Bank of India? Can Reserve Bank of India also follow the path of Fed and at least for now keep a pause on the rate hikes and see how the inflation situation pans out, or maybe we can see a rate hike in the future?
Add to that, Ashish, how worried are you with the headline inflation numbers? Do you see inflation going down, cooling off in the month of September? At least that's what the RBI governor is saying on record, that food inflation, pulses inflation will come down in the month of September. Although the MPC minutes of the meeting that came out were quite contrary to that. It appears that RBI MPC is worried about inflation. How do you see India mirroring, US Fed, if at all? Do you see there's going to be a pause or rate hike? What are you predicting at the moment?
I don't think so. RBI will act ahead of the curve to increase the interest rate at this point of time. As well as RBI is concerned, they have also said that this inflation, what we saw in previous month, is food-driven inflation. So your tomatoes and onions just disturbing the equilibrium. But again, prices started moderating. We have seen from 150 to 100 rupees to tomatoes coming down to again below 50. Again, onion also. The government is quite proactive. At the same time, they have stopped the export of rice as such. So staple food prices are also under check. So in my view, this increasing interest rate should be the last option for RBI government. They may talk, but they'll not do.
All right. Now, and since this is a Monday, there are some key indicators that perhaps the markets will be waiting and watching out for through the week. And of course, upcoming Monday, which is the Q1 GDP figures, the fiscal deficit, the core output, the core sector output, all of that, all those numbers are likely to come out later this week. In fact, on 1st of September, how much would that downplay on Indian markets? What sort of impact is that likely to have?
No, I'm not that, as far as my personal view is concerned, I'm not that bearish for any of these data. These data will come and go, but market will continue to maintain the momentum. One thing we must understand, this is an election year, and the kind of money spending is happening by almost all government departments, be it central government or state government. This will keep the money rotation on quite faster pace, and this is the reason we have seen a lot of PSU stocks which are not going anywhere for donkey years. They are the best performer in recent times, and this performance will continue. So your capital goods, your infra, your telecom, your retail, all allied sector will continue to do well. So whatever data comes, I think the life of that data is nowadays a 1 hour or 2 hour, not more than that.
Okay. Any major triggers that you are tracking apart from what Shweta listed?
No, in my view, the next trigger which is going to be is quarterly results. So for this actually we need to wait. And traditionally September is always a good quarter for Indian market. So in my view, again, very stock specific action we are going to see. I'm not that bullish as far as Nifty and Bank Nifty is concerned because these are the sector where these are the indices where FIs plays and they maneuver the market. I think it will be more stock specific action because most of the money, institutional money, which is coming in by domestic institutional investors like MF or insurance companies, they are buying very good quality mid cap stock and adding in their portfolio instead of large cap stock. So, in my view, very selective action is going to be there, and ahead of result season, you will see good rally in NSE 500 or small cap 100 also.
Ashish, before we jump on to sectors, you said one thing that that since it's an election year, the focus will shift to that. Do you expect government's capex cycle to also pick up? And if it does, what sectors can it benefit?
It's already picked up actually. If you see the kind of announcements are there from government to road projects or railways or airports, so much is happening. If you ask me, so and directly like if we see even take example of railway, these companies are having order book full for next 3 years now. Forget about 1 or 2 years. So no wonder your rides or aircon or other railway stocks are doing so well. So in my view, railway is a sector to watch for at least for next couple of years. Besides this, PSU stocks like NBCCs and SJVN, etc., will continue to do well. And third is, in my view, telecom is a sector to watch for. This is coming out of hibernation now, and the kind of aggressive plans are given by Reliance Jio. I think your stocks like even Idea is taking part in all telecom equipment manufacturer, etc. will do well. So these are a few sectors which will continue to outperform. Besides the large cap stocks like BHEL and capital goods space has not moved up even by 50-60% from lows. It has a long way to go because the kind of order book BHEL is having, the kind of order book L&T is enjoying. I think there's a lot of upside still left.
Okay.
Ashish, one of the themes that has been hogging the limelight has been defense. The defense stocks have run up significantly. A lot of them have turned multi-bagger this year itself. Is the space overheated, or are there still some pockets of opportunities left?
So yes, they have given phenomenal returns already in this year. So my view is that some focus is going to be shifted to other sectors which are having good order book or the valuations are not that rich. Even if you see in the defense sector, like the average valuation is now 40 times of their earnings, even 100 times of earning multiples. So defense stocks are now more into trading kind of category, and I think focus will shift towards other sector where the still price earning multiples are attractive. So stocks like hotel or telecom or pharma or textiles, these are the sectors where still you are able to find bets below 20 price earning multiples.
All right, Ashish, stay with us. Suyash, what other sectors are we tracking this afternoon apart from defense?
So Shweta, most sectors ended today's session in the green except FMCG and the IT pack. Now Nifty Bank, if you can pull up that chart, Nifty Bank was in action today. It was up about 0.6%, and what was also more important for the space was that it closed just marginally below the important support of 44,500. Another sector which was in action today was Nifty Pharma, which was up about 0.92%, and Nifty Auto, which added about 0.7%. Now Nifty IT and FMCG saw some profit booking. Nifty IT was down 0.41% and Nifty FMCG pack was down about 0.31%.
All right, Ashish, it appears Nifty IT, the entire pack continues to remain under pressure. We can't hear you, Ashish. I believe you're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So Nifty IT is again a replica of what is happening in the US market per se. So same thing what you witness in price movement in Indian market also. But still, I'm not that bearish. In my view, instead of large cap here, the focus will shift towards more mid cap kind of stocks where they are working in a niche area like artificial intelligence or digital side or EFX, etc. So they will continue to do well. We have seen stocks like KPIT or Birlasoft or Tata Elxsis, etc., doing much better compared to your TCS, Infosys. So, so in my view, it's better to take more calculated risk in mid-cap IT than the large-cap IT. Overall, I'm not that bearish, but focus is towards more mid-cap IT.
All right, let's also move to top gainers and losers at this point, Suyash.
Certainly, Shweta. So, among the top gainers were Power Grid Corporation, which has been in the news lately. It is up about 2.77%. L&T is another stock that has been gaining on a week-on-week basis. The stock is up about 44%. Year to date, it's up about 2.11% in today's trade.
What's leading to this buying frenzy?
So L&T, Shweta, if you remember, L&T played a crucial part in the Chandrayaan mission.
And they have full-page advertisements in almost all major news outlets as of today and yesterday.
Definitely, and we can see the result of it. The stock is up about 44% year to date. On a 1 year basis, it's about 55%. Today also, it was up about 2.11%. Now, Cipla was another stock which was in the news. It was about 1.95%. Mahindra and Mahindra ended 1.83% higher. BPCL ended 1.53% higher. Now, among losers was Jio Financials. The stock was trading higher in the morning, but after the AGM, the stock declined, and the same in line with Reliance's stock. Both stocks ended about 1 to 2% lower. Adani Enterprises, which also opened in the green today, saw some profit booking at higher levels and was down about 0.87%. Hindalco and Nestle India were also down about 0.8%.
All right, Adani Enterprises down by 0.87%, Geofin down by 2.05%, Reliance and Geofin, they're both down by 2.05 and 1.27%.